Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're talking about something that again is not really talked about a lot, or in fact is not talked about enough. And we're talking about these skills. We're talking about generally everyday basic skills. The question is, why are we not passing on our skills, everyday skills that are paramount to our survival, to our children? I witnessed loads of things, and I talked to other moms at the schools, and this is again the reason I'm bringing out this video. It is actually very much eye-opening how little knowledge we are passing on to our children. And of course, guys, I'm not talking about everybody, okay? Because yes, there are people that do teach their kids to be hands-on and understand very basic things of the home economics, but research shows there are a lot of people that simply just not doing it. See, I witnessed a lot of times, in fact, going out, say if you go to the restaurant or to the cafe somewhere, and you see children at some age, would say 10 or 12 years old, that are still not actually able to hold fork and knife properly. At the same time, you see a lot of mothers, or talking to a lot of mothers at the school, when they're saying, well, their kids just doesn't want to go outside, they just don't want to do anything. And we're talking about a 5-year-old. She said all they want to do is just to sit there and watch TV or play on the iPad. And this is where it got me questioning, really, why are we as parents, or at least some of us, are not really eager to pass on a very basic skills to our children. There was a research done in the 2024, this is as close as I can get to our current dates. Apparently, 50% of kids, when they come to their first job, are lacking a very basic of skills. And we're talking about just basic survival skills. And I'm not talking about survival in the forest, just very basic skills that people need. There also research showed that apparently teachers, or 82% of teachers, feel that the home economics should be taught in the school, okay, but apparently there isn't enough resources. So let's just think about this for a minute. 82%, okay, of teachers think that kids need to be taught a basics of home economics, and yet there is not enough resources. But there is apparently a lot of resources to teach our children, our very young children, certain things that technically should not be taught. See, I've been brought up on the homestead during the summer months. I've learned how to grow things from a very young age, and at the same time, when I grew up in the school, rather than teaching absolute nonsense, they taught girls on the top of the general school curriculum, that taught girls how to sew, that taught girls how to cook, amongst many other things. The things that we need, but the things that people are now losing. For the boys, of course, they used to teach how to do the woodwork and other things. The same goes for my husband. He remembers when he was at school that they taught very basic things for the boys as well. So the question arises, why are now at the schools they're choosing to prioritize certain things that are totally not important, okay, rather than actually teaching our kids a very basics. I don't know whether you've seen the film called The Idiocracy, I believe it was called, and it was, I think, based around certain ages we're right now. It's quite an old film, but it basically pointed out the nation over the time got dumber. This is because of the influence of the TV, AI, and many other things. Basically, where people live their lives but totally haven't had a clue how to actually do a very basic things, because a lot of things have been done for them for a very long time. So my question is to you, why do you think there are so many people choosing not to pass on the basic skills? Over the years, the generally skills of survival, skills of doing things, whether it be growing stuff or sewing or doing anything in the kitchen, cooking from scratch, you seem to be getting lost. And I know, I understand, because of the lot of convenience then, people always blame this, well, I'm very busy, I don't have the time to cook from scratch, which is, again, is a myth. And we talked about it on a different video. You can find time, you can batch cook, you can cook fresh. It is so much better for you, so much healthier for you. At the same time, when you're doing this, you're also teaching your kids. As I said, I witnessed kids of the age of 12 not able to hold a fork and knife. They're not able to cut a basic, say, tomato and apple into some chunks. This is absolutely ridiculous. I have a 5-year-old girl, okay, and I do lead a very busy lifestyle. I don't have a lot of time to potentially do a lot of baking, that sort of thing. But, okay, and sorry, sometimes I do feel like I just want to get the job done. But she wants to get involved. And this is the thing though, when the kids get involved into something, they learn that much faster. My 5-year-old, okay, can cut vegetables using her plastic knife. she can use a whisk, she can do many, many other things that even 10-year-olds are not able to do. She does gardening, she does sewing. Yes, sometimes a little bit, a little bit awkwardly or with a little bit less care, but the point is she's getting involved. I specifically got the chickens as well for ourselves, not just for the self-sufficiency, but as well to teach her understanding of where the real food comes from. She'll know, or she can name pretty much every fruit and vegetable. She knows a lot. And this is due to the fact that I'm getting her involved in many things. And I appreciate there'll be tons and tons of you that have even younger kids that can do even more better things. But the point is as well, there are unfortunately a lot of children that don't know basics. A lot, again, according to research, a lot of kids of age of 5 can't even name 5 vegetables or fruits. This is absolutely horrendous. The same is to you guys, even from the prepping point of view. The general skills of the food preservation, food preparedness, doing foraging, all those kind of things, those skills are disappearing. There are very few of us to choose the desire or the need to pass on those skills. But those skills could be paramount, and a lot of the skills are paramount even now. And this is what I don't understand. I don't understand the lack of lack of need to be able to teach. I'll try to teach my child as much as I can. And I strongly suggest, as I said, guys, there's no disrespect to anybody. A lot of you, I'm sure, do this if you have children. We're trying to do our best to make sure that our kids have all the knowledge we need, because generally going forward with the way the things are happening, like ability to be able to grow our fruits and vegetables is pretty much going to become a necessity, I think, rather than a want. And I understand as well that not everybody has a garden, not everybody's got space to be able to grow a lot of things, but even the basics of showing kids how to sow some seeds, even if it's being on the windowsill with a little bit of herbs, that would give them a lot of knowledge and understanding going forward. And yes, we're all busy, guys. We're all busy. We all say we don't have the time. We don't have the time to bake or do this. But please, if you do a specific task, just please try to pass on this knowledge to your kids. Get your kids involved. Get them learning. As I said, as research shows, if the kids are involved in a specific task, they're far better and far quicker to learn that task. And again, at the same time, I understand a lot of, and we all, I'm pretty sure, agree that this school should have not say a priority, but at least a dedicated chunk of a curriculum dedicated to a very, very basic things. Just cooking, just basic cooking for the girls, maybe growing for the boys, or just generally, even for, to be fair, for all of the kids all together, are very, very basic things. But something tell me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you agree, that the conceptions of the way things are going deliberately and what's been happening, what is planned in a way of lack of food, that sort of thing, it's almost felt like it's almost done deliberately, because you cannot tell me that in the true sense that why do governments or whoever decides what curriculum is, what's in the curriculum, prioritize a totally random things that are totally inappropriate for ages of 5 and even 10 in some cases, but yet they push this upon kids, and yet they totally choose not to give them a very basics of what they need in life. This is a pretty sad state of events, unfortunately. And again, I strongly urge you to find this film if you can, because it is pretty much an eye-opener how quickly things can deteriorate. And I know by quickly, I'm not talking about in a weeks or a few months. This is, of course, is done over the years, but it feels like the nation of people, and I'm talking about all over the world, really, it's getting, I'm not going to say all over the world, that the nation of people, say in the United Kingdom, people are getting more, less able to care for themselves. I'm gonna put it that way, because they think that it's going to be other people, other companies or government wanting or be able to help them if something happens. But in fact, we know, of course, this couldn't be further from the truth. So there we are, guys. I just wanted to bring this to your attention and see again if you witnessed certain things as well. The inability of our kids now to be able to deal with the very, very basic tasks. So there we are, of course, guys. Please comment down below. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.